on week 5 of our free quilt along with the National Quilters Circle. This week is really exciting. We're going to make a star in a star block, okay? So the small star on the inside is the block that we made last week. So this week we're going to make our flying geese again, just like we did last week, and we're going to have 4 corner blocks. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so let's start cutting our fabric. We have our background fabric and our contrasting fabric. So the background fabric, I cut 11 4-inch wide width of fabric strips. I took those 4-inch wide strips and I cut them into 4-inch blocks. We need 104 of those blocks. Now those blocks are going to be used to make our flying geese, okay? Then on fabric 2, we're going to cut 2 different size strips. We're going to cut a 5.5-inch wide strip, 6 of those, and then we're going to cut 6 4-inch strips that are with the fabric. So it gets a little bit confusing, but our 5.5-inch wide strips, once we cut those, we're going to subcut those by 4 inches. So that block should be 4 inches by 5.5. It's a rectangle. We'll need 52 of those rectangles. That is the center of our flying geese. Then the 4-inch strips that we're going to cut that are with the fabric, we're going to cut that 4-inch strip into 4-inch squares. We'll need 52 of those squares, and that is our 4 corners on our star block. So, okay, let's get started. So as you can see, I have all of the items I'm going to need to make this week's block. We're going to need 52 5.5 by 4-inch rectangles. That's going to be our flying geese. Then we'll need 104 of the 4-inch squares that are our background fabric, and that's going to be 2 of those are going to be sewn onto each of those flying geese, okay? Then we'll need 52 4-inch squares. That's our dark fabric. That is my contrasting fabric, and that is the 4 corners on our new star block. Now the center of our new block is our block from week 4. The week 4 block should be 5.5 inches square. Once we sew our flying geese and add our 4 new corner blocks, our new block this week will be 12.5 inches square. Okay, so the main block we're going to make for this week is flying geese. We're going to make 52 of these large flying geese. So what we'll need is our rectangle, and then we'll need 2 of our background squares that are 4 inches. So what we're going to do first is take our background fabric, the 4-inch square, and draw a line from corner to corner. Then we're going to have 2 of those squares for each flying geese, okay, because those are our corners. So we're going to take our rectangle and we'll put the first square on first, and then we'll sew that from corner to corner, and we'll flip it back. We'll place the second square that's 4 inches, that's our background fabric, on the other side, and we'll stitch that from corner to corner, and we'll flip that back. Now this block is our flying geese, and it should measure 4 by 5.5 inches, okay? All right, so this is going to be our block layout for this week, week 5. As you can see, we need 4 large flying geese. Those are what we just made. Those are 4 inches by 5.5 inches. Then in the center, that center star is last week's block that we made, week 4. That's 5.5 inches square. And then we added 4 of our corner blocks. That's my dark fabric, the contrasting fabric, and those squares are also 4 inches. So as you can see, we have our block laid out. Then what we're going to do now is we are going to sew our block together in rows first, and then we'll sew our rows together, and our block should end up being 12.5 inches square. All right, everyone, so that's the end of our video, and that's our block for week 5. So if you too would also like to make this mystery quilt, you can go to the National Quilter Circle. Here is the website link. I wrote it on the page. So you have to follow the link exactly as I have it posted so that you can find all of the instructions for each week, or you can just go back through all of the videos because I have one for each week. It's never too late to start the quilt along. Remember, you can follow the link or go back through all of my videos for each week, and you'll get all of the cutting instructions and how to put your blocks together. So remember, you only need 2 fabrics for this quilt. You'll need a background fabric and a contrasting fabric. Our background fabric, the number looks really big, but it is including 3/4 of a yard for binding. So if you want to do your binding in a different fabric, you can minus that off, that 7 3/8. And then we have our contrasting fabric, and we need 4 yards of that. Okay, guys, so I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Like and subscribe to Grandma's channel. Like and subscribe to Grandma's channel.